Is it true that on that day you went to a locker of a student?
Yes, sir.
Why did you go to that student's locker?
It was unsecured.
Any other reason?
No, sir.
What do you mean it was unsecured?
It had no lock on it.
Okay. Before going to his locker, did you notify him?
Sir, I notified all the students the first day of school when we discussed student handbook.
Did you notify, and for the record, we're calling this particular student John Doe. Are you aware of that?
That you're calling him John Doe?
Yes.
That's fine.
You did not tell John Doe on October 16 you were going to his locker, did you?
No.
And you opened the locker, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why did you open it?
It was unsecured.
Didn't have a lock on it.
Correct.
After you opened it, you removed John Doe's book bag from the locker, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because the wall locker was unsecured.
You left other things in the locker, didn't you?
There could have been. I'm not sure.
Why'd you leave some things in and not leave the book bag in?
I have no idea.
Do you see the sentence that says, prior to an individual locker search, the student shall be notified and be given an opportunity to be present? Did I read that correctly?
Yes, sir.
You didn't do that on October 16th, did you?
Sir, if you look down further, it says materials that pose a threat to health and welfare and safety of the school population. Student lockers may be searched without any prior warning.
You had no knowledge that there was a knife in that locker, did you?
You wouldn't know until you looked.
Okay. Now, what did you do with that book bag once you took it out of the locker?
I took it with me
Took it with you where?
to the cafeteria
And why did you take it to the cafeteria?
because that's where I was going.
Okay. And what were you doing in the cafeteria?
I don't remember, but I was called down there for some reason.
Okay. And when you got to the cafeteria, what did you do?
I put the book bag at the monitor's desk
Why?
because I got called off to do something else.
And did you do something else right away?
I don't remember, sir.
Well, what was it that you got called off to do?
I don't remember.
Is it true that you had nothing to do?
No, sir.
Is it true that you went to a table in the cafeteria and sat there for several minutes?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know one way or the other?
I don't remember any of that.
Okay. Well, after you put the book bag down in the cafeteria, what did you do?
I don't remember. It was, I probably got a phone call on the radio to go do something. I don't remember.
All right. Well, what was the next thing you did after you were in the cafeteria?
Whatever it was that they called me away to go do, I did, and returned to the cafeteria.
Okay. Then what happened?
One of the lunch ladies came up to me and said that they were trying to find out whose book bag it was, and they thought they found a knife in it.
Okay. Then what did you do?
I took the book bag down to the office.
Okay. So as you're sitting here now, you have no recollection of what you did after you put the book bag down in the cafeteria until you came back and the cafeteria lady told you what she found. Is that what your testimony is?
I don't remember, sir.
After the lady told you that there was a knife in the book bag, then what did you do?
I took it to the office.
Then what did you do?
I had the secretary look up whose wall locker it was and had that person report to the office.
And the person is John Doe?
John Doe.
Then what did you do?
I got a hold of a witness and who's Lou Delagrati, and then I had the student come in and we searched through the book bag.
Then what did you do?
Well, as soon as I did that, he admitted that that was his knife. And at that point, I put him in another room, called his father, and asked his father to come down to the school to discuss it.
To John Doe's father before you called him down.
Well, I explained it to him on the phone, sir.
My question is, did you give him anything in writing?
Yes, sir, once he got to my office.
You gave him something in writing?
Yes, sir.
Do you have it here?
I think it's one of your witnesses. It was the suspension notice.
The suspension notice.
However, when school authorities have reasonable suspicion that locker contains materials which pose a threat to the health, welfare, and safety of the school population, student lockers may be searched without prior warning.
What sort of materials, in your professional judgment, do you consider pose a threat to the health, welfare, or safety of the school or its students?
Well, obviously any kind of a weapon, drugs, and believe it or not, sandwiches. There's a heck of a mouse problem in this school, and those dirty sandwiches are collecting mice.
I think you testified that you frequently search unsecured lockers.
Absolutely.
Why do you search unsecured lockers?
Because the students are supposed to have them locked, and if they don't lock them, the locker has a potential to be a drop box. As an example, a student can put drugs in somebody's locker that's not secure, make a drug deal, and if something goes wrong, he can say, it's not my locker. Again, going back to the policy we read about anything in there is your responsibility. The other thing is that somebody could put a knife or a gun in there, and it could be stored there, and nobody would know about it except for the person that put it in, and could cause a serious safety issue at this school.
How long have you been working as an educator?
Over 12 years.
And have you actually found materials such as drugs, weapons?
Absolutely.
Right. Let me finish the question.
Oh.
In student lockers,
Yes, sir.
have you found materials like that in lockers unsecured here at Shikellamy?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been principal again here at Shikellamy?
A little under 2 years.
And how many times would you estimate you found materials which you deem pose a threat to health, safety, or welfare in an unsecured locker?
I mean, a bunch. I can't. Probably less than 15, but more than 5. I don't know. I really don't know. It's been enough that it makes it worth it.
When you say it makes it worth it, does it give you a reasonable suspicion that something is in the locker that should not be?
I told all the students that sat right in this room the first day of school that if they leave their locker open, they might as well put a sign on it that says, Mr. Jackson, come inspect this locker.
When you testified that you complied with everything in the school code, the regulations, and the board policy, and the handbook, that's based on your opinion that you had reasonable suspicion to search the locker. Is that correct?
It's not my opinion, it's for health and welfare, so that's reasonable suspicion.
What do you mean that's not your opinion?
It's health and welfare.
Is that what you think?
That's what I know.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Because based on the things that I found in wall lockers in my career.
Sir, how many times did you find a knife in a locker that was unlocked at the Shikellamy School District?
That would be it.
That's the only one.
So far, I've only been here less than 2 years, sir.
Okay. But you check all the unlocked lockers all the time, you said.
I do.
And you never found a weapon previously, did you?
No, sir.
And you never found illegal drugs previously, did you?
I did.
In the unlocked lockers?
Yeah, we found some spice last year.
Some what?
Spice.
Spice. How many times?
Once.
All right. How many times have you gone into lockers without telling students and never told the student that you did that?
I can't tell. I don't know.
So you go into lockers, open the lockers, look inside the lockers, sometimes remove the stuff and don't tell the students. Is that correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you don't write it down, do you?
No.
You don't keep a record of whose lockers you search, do you?
No, sir.
And that's a violation of school district policy, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
You don't know the rules? That's a yes or a no. Do you know the rules or don't?
Yes, sir.
You do. Isn't it a rule that you have to keep a record of all the lockers you search?
Yes.
But you didn't do that, did you?
No, sir.